Having your own television show with 23? Being proactive, hardworking and determined made it possible in the country of opportunities. Hard to believe? In America, everything is achievable. I am Gregor Baum, an international student from Germany who studies at Western University in Rocky Mount. I came to the States to follow my dream of playing college tennis. However, a sport injury prevented me from continuing with my passion. I was devastated after I lost my identity as a tennis player. I mean, how would you feel if a dream you were chasing faded away? However, I overcame my little depression and could make peace with my own inner demons, which led me to explore new interests in my life. One of those interests was public speaking, which brings me to my television show. The television show is called The Inner Hero Show, and here I talk with heroes from all around the world. Not the classical hero like Batman or Spider-Man, no. Heroes like you and me, who have fought and overcome their own inner demons.
What's up, North Carolina? What's up, Rocky Mount? Gregor Baum back with The Inner Hero Show, and today it's again a beautiful day in Rocky Mount, beautiful day at Western University, and today I have a today I have a guest from New Zealand, a good friend of mine. He also is playing soccer, like my last guest, Freddie Rogers. But this relationship with him is a different one. It's not just a friend or a colleague, no. He's my roommate and my business partner, Harjot Singh from New Zealand. Please come on to the stage. How's it going, my friend?
Good, how are you, mate?
So, Harjot, once again, same question for everyone. Why the United States? Why Rocky Mount? And who the heck are you?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me, Gregor. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and share the stage with you. I think it's an interesting question, but obviously, as you said, we'll start off with who I am.
Yeah.
So obviously, Harjot from New Zealand, other side of the world. I'm still struggling with jet lag, I'll be honest, like 17 hours behind, so it is a little bit difficult, but I've been really lucky.
Yeah.
I've had a great surrounding and environment growing up.
Yeah.
I've had some awesome people around me. High school's been awesome, school's been awesome to me. So how it basically went was I went from junior college, what we call junior college in New Zealand is grade 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And I went to high school. I got a scholarship to go to my dream high school.
And then what happened? Like pre-high school, high ambitions, and then what happened?
It was crazy, man. I worked my summer holidays every day, training 3 times a day, no days off, and I worked as hard as I could. And second week of my dream high school, I hurt my back.
No,
similar story to you, right?
You know the story. Again, first official practice, left my country, got injured, and we know how devastating it can be.
Oh yeah.
Especially for your mind.
It's funny because I still remember the exact moment when it happened, and I knew it was bad. So I remember as I was walking up to the nurse's office, I actually cried. I cried.
My God, yeah.
I was crying, and I'm like, because I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And this was my dream. So I was out for 2 years. Yeah, and then I guess I had a great time. However, the school was amazing. I was able to get some awesome leadership roles, experience some awesome things.
So how could you bounce back from this injury? So the sport avenue was a little bit closed, and then you tried different things? Or?
Yeah, I had to step outside my comfort zone. So public speaking, leadership, service. Our school was huge on service, so getting involved in service projects. Academics as well played a huge role. It allowed me to start doing some business projects. As you know, I love business, so that's where I found my passion for business. And then I was like, what's the next challenge? What's the next opportunity? And how can I grow the most?
And then you said you wanted to go to the States, is that right?
That's it. I assessed my opportunities. I could go to Australia, I could go to England, or I could go to the United States.
And was it like a childhood dream? Like for me, it was always a childhood dream to come to the States. Was it like something?
Funnily enough, it's actually something I never thought of until my final year of high school. I always thought I'm going to live in New Zealand.
Okay.
Have a great time back home.
Yeah.
Have as much time as I can with my family and the goal was never to come to the States until my final year, where I actually thought, how can I grow as a person and how can I set myself up for success in the future?
Okay.
And as we all know, this is the land of opportunity.
It's the land of opportunity. I mean, once again, I'm here in the States for just 2 years and I have my own television show. I opened a company with this guy here next to me. So life, sky's the limit here in the States. We believe in the American dream. We know hard work, determination, and being proactive will take us a long way. And that's also the reason why so many talents come to the States, because the United States has such a great reputation of pushing boundaries and opening doors.
And I mean, it's crazy. Like, you know, back home, I live in the biggest city in New Zealand. So we've got a population of 5 million people. And our city has 1.5 million people. So, you know, for me, it's always been like, that's great. And I've lived in Melbourne. I've, you know, experienced some other big cities like Singapore, like, countries like Singapore. And so I know what a big city looks like, but I've never lived in a big city according to the American standards. And coming out here is when you realize how big the world truly is.
How big the world truly is, but you're not in a big city, you're in Rocky Mount.
Yeah, so but it's been great. Like, I mean, it was a change. Like, I went from a big city, big school, to Wesleyan, which has, I think, how many students do we have?
1,500, something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
my high school had more students than that.
Okay.
You know, and the city is a lot smaller, but I've loved it. I've loved every bit. I think the key has been meeting some awesome people.
Yeah, the surrounding makes it, and Wesleyan has a lot of good people. The benefit of Wesleyan, we all know, it's a small college. We know each other.
It's the connections you build, right?
Connection and diversity. I mean, Germany, New Zealand, we have so many people from all around the world, which is insane. So...
Yeah, man, it's been awesome, and I love it here.
Yeah. That comes into the next question. Yeah, how was the transition from New Zealand to the States? What was the biggest challenge for you? You have to overcome. I'm pretty sure it was not the language. No.
The language I was good with. I mean, the food. Whoa. I've always heard about American food. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Definitely a change. Jet lag. Oh
okay.
my god, I've struggled with jet lag. I've even missed classes because of jet lag. I mean, you know, I wake up at like, say 5 a.m. It's 9:30 over there. That's when I'm about to start sleeping.
Fair enough.
So I've struggled a little bit with that, but I think it's been a really smooth transition. Overall, it's been really good. Like, yes, the weather's hot. Yes, all those other things. But as you say, I think being resilient and knowing why you're here. Like, for me, my purpose was to maximize my time here. So it was like, okay, am I gonna let those things distract me, or like?
Of course. So, big question: how do you invest your time here at Wesleyan, a part of playing soccer and studying for the university? How do you spend your time?
I wonder, Gregor. I wonder. We wonder. But
we dive into it, how we came together and what we have done so far. But yeah,
I mean, as Gregor said, I play soccer, so there is a large investment of time into soccer. So like going to the gym, recovery, trainings, meetings, and then of course staying on top of your classwork.
And I think individuals who study and play sports, they deserve a lot of respect from, and I respect them a lot, and we all should respect them, because working for the university and playing a sport full time is pretty demanding. There's not so much time left for anything else. So I think everybody deserves to be respected who does that.
But I was in my freshman year, second week, I would say. That sounds about right, you know. As a freshman, I think it's quite daunting sometimes coming into a new environment.
Overwhelming.
But I think the greatest thing at Wesleyan is that the seniors and juniors are really, the upperclassmen are really welcoming and really helpful. So Gregor was one of those people in the campus who was just going around different tables, making sure everyone felt comfortable. And I think we just shared a meal one night and we shared our stories over a few days, got to know each other. And one day I was walking out the cafeteria and all I hear is, Honey! And I'm like, whoa, where's that coming from? You know, like, who's this maniac?
And I came up with an idea and it had to be released there.
I mean, he was so excited. I could feel the energy from like miles away. And I was like, yeah, what's up? Like, I was a little scared, you know, I was like the senior shouting my name, what have I done? But Gregor came up to me, he's like, hey, I've got an idea. Let's build a course together about mindset. Obviously, because we've shared similar stories, we've both been through some pretty, I guess, traumatic injuries where we both lost our identities. We thought, what can we do?
I mean, giving back. The lessons we have learned, putting into a book, putting into a course, and I was the guy who had the idea, but I couldn't structure it so much. I couldn't put it into reality. And finally, Fadi is the guy who could put it into reality and structure it.
I think that was the key thing. Like, we all brought our different strengths to the table. Like, for example, Candela, Delfina, out of the two team members, Gregor and myself, we all brought different strengths to the table, and we combined them to make one product that we're super proud of. And now we're building a whole organization that's designed to help empower individuals' mental well-being.
So send you an inner journey, kind of.
That's the coolest thing we can ever do, right? Like, giving back in a place like the US and learning so much from so many different people. It's been an absolute journey so far, and I mean, the starting was tough, right? Like
always, the starting was pretty tough, but through time,
a huge time investment. Every day we were in the library 3 hours at night.
Yes.
Like I'd finish training, I'd eat, and then we'd be in the library till like 11, 12. You know, back at it the next day, school, uni, soccer. And again, like I guess it was a choice, right? Like we could choose to spend our time like that, or we could. I mean, we had our good times as well.
We had our good times.
Yeah, we had our fun.
And what could the audience learn from it? Like from our struggles, from our story that we struggled, we came together, we had an idea and put an idea together, which is already implemented at Western University. We see a lot of success. But how can the audience learn from our struggles? Like, well, we have a lesson or not a lesson, but a recommendation?
I think we haven't even talked about the biggest struggle yet.
What is the biggest struggle?
So unfortunately, I hurt my back again last year. So after the soccer season, I was struggling to walk, so it was really tough. Like I remember my flight back home, like I could barely lift my suitcase, and I was like, "Oh, this is not good." We spent about a month trying to do rehab here, but just things didn't work out.
Yeah.
So went back home, and rehab went really well. So I was in a bit of a pickle. I was either like, do I stay home, and I have to take some time off, and I have to give up on a lot of things that I've started in Wesleyan, or do I go back and I don't know about my back, like, what's going to happen?
It wasn't an easy decision for you either. Huh?
I decided to stay back home, and it was definitely a struggle. I think, being in a different time zone, for example, Gregor would message me, and I'm messaging him the next day.
Yeah.
Things were slowing down, and I think there was probably a point where we considered, like, maybe it's just best to close things, right? Like, I mean, there was a point.
Especially in my perspective, I came back to wrestling in the second semester. I was so eager to move on. I was so eager to push it to the next level. And then imagine your business partner. Imagine your business partner not coming back. How would you react? I mean, it's the 50% of the business is disappearing. Yeah. So there was a thought in my head, like, what should I do now? But I went also through a lot of struggles, but I pushed through, and our teammates, they raised up to the occasion. Candela stepped up, and she and I taught this course on campus. So it was struggling, but through those struggles you learn, and we are here back. We're back at Western together as a team, more powerful than before.
I guess you realize the importance of this project, like, deciding not to quit during those 8 months or 9 months.
Deciding not to quit
was definitely, it was a tough task, but we all did the best we could. And I mean, for yourself, I can understand, like, we formed a really good relationship. We were great friends, and
not just business relationship, also like
I mean, how did you cope with? I mean, at the same time as a senior yourself, junior, you lost a lot of your good senior mates, and so how did you cope with?
I think making new connections also was a big factor. Like not regretting or looking back. Oh my gosh, all my friends are gone. There are plenty of new friends around you, or plenty of new connections you can make. So, but first of all, I was definitely a little bit upset. But then, not quitting and looking for new friends on campus.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But I mean, like, even just like in terms of what they can take away, I think in terms of the good stuff as well. I think for us, it's been about priority management, right?
Oh yeah.
Like making sure that we prioritize doing a little bit on a daily basis, like consistency over intensity, like making sure we do a little bit over every single day.
If I'm not mistaken, you brought something for the crowd. You brought something.
Yes, I have. I will grab it for you really quick.
Why not? But as you can see, there are many disguised blessings. If you look back, you know why certain things happened. For me, the back injury was the best thing what could ever happen. It was, without the back injury, GHN Performance wouldn't exist. The Inner Hero Show wouldn't exist. The book wouldn't exist. Which is implemented at Wesleyan University, which already Rotary, a non-profit organization, uses to promote mental health. So it's a 42 days journey, and with every guest I invite to the show, I give him the opportunity to pick one day, and we talk about this day. This journey is built up on 6 days, 5 modules: self-reflections, inner success, energy sources, gratitude, and
I think this book is just definitely like something that
a game changer.
Is a game changer for a lot of people. And as Gregor said, there's a lot of organizations that have realized the potential. I think mental health is huge everywhere in the world, not just the United States. No. I think a lot of people overlook the benefits of mental health, and I think a question that I'd love to talk about is my power list.
Okay.
So We all know gratitude's huge. I think gratitude plays an essential role. Like even during the tough times, if you can look at the positives and look at what you have as opposed to what you don't have, you can count your blessings. I think that allows you to be in a better have a better perspective, and stay in a more positive mood, spread positive energy. Yeah. And I think the question I want to talk about is my power list. So day 30. I think the benefit of knowing what motivates you. So the question is, being grateful has shown to increase motivation and help reframe the narrative in your head. Therefore, we are going to create a gratitude power list. This is a collection of some of the things, people, events, or periods in your life you are most grateful for. This will be a tool you can use to ground yourself and, if needed, push through tough times. Feel free to add to the list whenever something in your life happens that you are extremely grateful for. I think we just touched on it, right? As you said, your back injury was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Same thing for me. I think my back injury was a blessing in disguise. It taught me to work harder. It taught me to almost be able to overcome obstacles that seemingly seem impossible. I had people tell me, maybe this is a sign that you should stop playing sports. And I was like, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
You know, like that's all I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like some of the other things in my life that I'm super grateful for and motivate me would include my family, you know, like growing up, we've been through some tough times together, but I'm super grateful that we've all stuck together and we've, you know, remained together. I think the other one is friends. Social circle, I think, is very important. Yeah. And surrounding yourself with the right people or the people who you align with, I guess, or people who
share similar values perhaps as well.
I think that's essential, and I think like for Gregor, my team at the campus, even my brothers back home, I don't call them my friends, my brothers and sisters back home, you know, they all play a very essential life in helping me stay grounded and motivated. And I think...
And what is the benefit of reflecting about, like, what is the benefit if you ask yourself those questions and reflect about your power list? What is the benefit?
I think, as we just said, it helps you restructure the narrative in your head. If you're going through a tough time, I can quickly just remember what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my friends, I'm grateful for my family, grateful for events that happen in your life. For example, the injury. I could take that, be a victim, and feel very bad for myself. But I could look at the positive. At the same time, I must admit, there was a period of where I felt really bad and I was in a dark space. But you reframe the narrative in your head and, hey, it's the greatest thing that happened and I'm learning so much from it, right?
Crazy. So would you say change the story, like change your story, change your life? Like once you change your story in your life, how you talk to yourself, how you perceive a situation, your life changes. So it's kind of, changing the narrative, and once you change the narrative, your life changed because your perspective changed.
For sure, Greg. And this whole book is just filled
with
of
tools like that,
guides and strategies to not just change the narrative in your head, but also build really good habits. Like we talk about morning habits. How do you start your day? Are you starting on a good front, or are you perhaps a little bit lazy, or
or checking first the phone instead of meditating or journaling?
You know, just choices. And again, this book doesn't tell you what to do, right?
That's true.
It guides you. So
we don't tell you anything. We just prompt you. We give you the opportunity to reflect, and you come up with your own answers.
For sure. And I think I'm excited for where this can go.
Yeah.
And I think the sky's the limit.
Especially here in the States, we all know the sky's the limit here in the States.
Yeah.
We have good surrounding. We receive a lot of support from Dr. Duff. We receive a lot of support from the city and from the county. So it's a blessing where we are, and let's see where we bring GH and the book and mental health.
I mean, if you guys would love to check us out, our website is ghinnerperformance.com. We've got everything on there. And if you know friends or family who could benefit from something like this, would love if you could share the word. I think I've got everyone in my family journaling. I think Greg has done the same. I've got my friends journaling.
Yeah.
And I think you just got to be open to experiences, right?
Being open to experiences. And for us, we are just international students who try to make it happen here in the States. We will try to give back what we've learned and empower students, send students and people on an inner journey.
It's just a start, isn't it?
Just a start.
Just a start.
See you next week, Wednesday, 10:30.